What if I told you that the real secret to sales success isn't necessarily working harder, but that it's aligning your natural traits with the right sales role in the right industry? Well, in today's video, I'll explain how alignment is the key to success in any industry. Hey, what's up, crew? It's Patrick with the Hot Topic Podcast, and today is Monday, June the 1st, and it's time for another question of the day. Let's see what Chat has in store. Hey, Chat, can you throw a question my way for today?
Absolutely, Patrick. Here's your question of the day. Why do many sales professionals take longer to succeed? And how does finding alignment with their strengths change the game?
Good question. I think there's several things. Obviously, each individual is going to have their own time frame as to when they start to become successful. But obviously, some hit it early, some it takes a while, and I would say most people it takes kind of a while to figure out a bunch of different things that goes into it. I'd say number one is just being exposed to different industries. I think as a general rule, most young sales professionals will jump into a few different industries. Generally, it starts with something that interests them. Someone that's young, maybe into cars or whatever, they get in the car business. Maybe it's they're following in the footsteps of somebody, and they then jump into different industries and things of that nature. But overwhelmingly, I think a lot of young professionals, they start off by getting exposed to different industries and different sides of the industry, really. I think another part is just a willingness to jump in. Most salespeople have this ability to be willing to jump in and try to learn new industries, new businesses, things of that nature. Maybe it's something that's hot at the time that's really trending, or maybe it's something that's been steady for, several decades, 100 years, whatever the case may be. But I think it's that willingness to jump in and just try to figure things out to see if it fits them. And if it does, then they try to, chart a path where they can be successful. And obviously, if it doesn't fit them, then they're off to find another venture. But I think those are two things, their exposure and the willingness. I think another thing, too, is not necessarily fully understanding sales in general. I think a lot of us that got into sales early on, we felt like, and we've heard, salespeople are all the same. And if you can talk, you can sell. If you have the gift of gab, you can sell, which that couldn't be farther from the truth. Let me give you an extreme example. Clearly, I've made a pretty good career in the commercial truck industry. I don't think I could sell lipstick effectively. I've never tried, but it just doesn't make sense to me. That I don't ever see myself selling something that I'm not, one, comfortable with, and two, I know nothing about. Now, that's not to say that salespeople can't learn an industry. I'm not saying that at all. We all have to learn the industry. Nobody jumps into an industry or into a role and they know it all from the get-go. That just doesn't happen. But, take medical device sales. I think a lot of people see the need for that. There certainly is a need. It's not going away anytime soon, but it never interests me. So even though it may make sense and it might be lucrative, it doesn't interest me. So I never went down that path. I was always into cars growing up, kind of a different era. But whenever I first got into sales, I got into automotive sales because that's what interested me. And then it took a while to figure out that the commercial side of the business is where I was ultimately going to have the most success in my career. So again, being exposed, understanding, and just learning about different sides of the industry and different industries as a whole, a willingness to jump in. Sometimes you have to, you may have to take a step back to be able to learn and pick up new traits, find your natural alignment. But that's okay. Just don't get stuck in a rut feeling that you're unwilling to take a step back to learn new things and try to broaden your horizon. Sometimes you can become more marketable if you were able to do that, if your willingness is to step back and just take a broader look at things. And then the other thing too is getting a full understanding of the industry that you're going to slide into eventually. Number one, be very studious. Learn as much as you can in that industry. Become an authority in that industry. Your customers will sense that. They'll feel that. Even for a young professional, okay? If I'm talking to young professionals here, I would say be the authority. Just be the person that people go to when they need to know information, whether it be your colleagues or whether it be your clients. Either way, when you have knowledge and you have experience and you know fully how things work, within your industry, that will carry you a long way. Your customer can sense that, your colleague can sense that, and certainly the management staff that you have to answer to, they sense that as well. And it just gives you industry credibility, which is what you're looking for. So I would say those are probably the three things that my guess is what keeps some professionals from advancing faster or quicker than others. So, hey guys, another great question for the day. If you're liking the content, please subscribe and like to the channel. That carries it a long way. I'll continue making the content. You guys keep absorbing it, and together we'll get better. We'll make our industry stronger. Okay, until tomorrow, Tuesday, June the 2nd, I'll be back for another question of the day. And until then, guys, make it a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.